Have you ever wondered what makes a crime case so disturbing that it continues to haunt investigators years later? Prison cells, courtrooms, and autopsy reports are often where justice is dispensed, but some cases seem to never close. These stories defy logic, unraveling the minds of those who investigate them. From twisted motives to unresolved mysteries, these cases continue to unsettle those who study them. In today's video, we dive into the top 5 real crime cases that still disturb investigators. These cases aren't just about catching a criminal, they're about unraveling dark, twisted narratives that challenge even the most experienced detectives. So, let's dive in. 1. Keisha Abraham's disappearance. In 2010, 6-year-old Keisha Abrahams went missing in Australia. What happened to her was a mystery that shocked the country. For months, Keisha's family and the authorities searched for the missing child. The case grew cold, but then an Aboriginal elder, Cheryl Carolagerway, had a vivid dream. She dreamt that Keisha's body would be found in a nature preserve near Sydney. Trusting her vision, Cheryl and a friend headed to the location and found a body. But it wasn't Keisha's. Instead, they stumbled upon the body of Christy McDougall, another homicide victim. Tragically, Keisha's body was found later, and her own mother was revealed to be her killer. The haunting part of this case is that it involved not just a horrific crime but also an eerie intuition that led to the discovery of another victim. The chilling nature of the investigation still disturbs those who followed the case. 2. The Greenbrier Ghost. In 1897, a ghost led to the conviction of a murderer in West Virginia. Could this be the strangest case in criminal history? Zona Hester Shue was found dead in her home, initially believed to have died from childbirth. But her mother, Mary Jane Hester, wasn't convinced. Mary Jane claimed that her daughter's ghost appeared to her and revealed that her husband, Erasmus Shue, had killed her. Though no one believed Mary Jane, she insisted that Zona's spirit was guiding them to the truth. A local prosecutor took her seriously enough to have the body exhumed, and the autopsy revealed that Zona's neck was broken, disproving the childbirth story. Erasmus was arrested and convicted. But the most disturbing part of this case remains the supernatural element. Could a ghost really have helped solve her own murder? 3. The Devil Made Me Do It case. What if someone claimed that demonic possession drove them to murder? Could that serve as a valid defense in a court of law? In 1981, Arne Cheyenne Johnson shocked the world when he stabbed his landlord, Alan Bono, to death. But what made his case truly bizarre was his defense. He claimed that he was possessed by a demon at the time of the murder. The famous paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, supported Johnson's defense, asserting that a demonic entity had taken control of him. This claim thrust the case into the public eye, as it became the first time in U.S. history that a defendant used demonic possession as a legal defense. Johnson's trial was sensationalized, capturing the attention of both legal professionals and paranormal enthusiasts. Ultimately, he was convicted of manslaughter rather than murder, but the notion that supernatural forces could be invoked in a courtroom has continued to haunt both legal experts and the general public. This case remains a haunting reminder of the blurred lines between reality, belief, and law, and it still sparks debate about the limits of the law when it comes to the paranormal. 4. The Hammersmith Ghost Case. In 1803, a terrified community mistook a man for a ghost, and it led to a tragic death. Locals in Hammersmith, London, were terrified by reports of a ghostly figure dressed in white. The sightings grew so intense that armed citizens began patrolling the area. On one fateful night, Francis Smith, a man on patrol, mistook a bricklayer named Thomas Millwood for the ghost. Armed with a shotgun, Smith shot and killed Millwood. Later, it was revealed that Millwood had been wearing white for practical reasons. He was working in the area and had nothing to do with the ghost sightings. The real ghost was later revealed to be John Graham, a shoemaker who had been dressing in a white sheet to scare his apprentice. This case still disturbs people to this day, as it demonstrates how fear and superstition can cloud judgment, leading to a senseless tragedy. 5. Teresita Basa speaks through another. In 1977, Teresita Basa's murder went unsolved, until her co-worker woke up in a trance, claiming to speak as the deceased. Teresita Basa, a nurse in Chicago, was murdered in her apartment. The case went cold, with little evidence to go on. Months later, one of her co-workers, Remibia's Remy Chua, began having strange dreams. In one of these dreams, Remy woke up in a trance and spoke in a different voice, claiming to be Teresita. She revealed details about the murder that no one knew, including the identity of the killer. The police investigated, and they discovered that the murderer was another co-worker, Alan Showery. Showery was arrested and sentenced to 14 years in prison. This case is one of the strangest in criminal history, as it raises the question, could Teresita's spirit really have helped solve her own murder? 6. Pitești Prison Re-Education Experiments. In the early 1950s, a dark chapter in Romanian history unfolded within the walls of Pitești Prison. Under the communist regime, political prisoners were subjected to some of the most brutal and unthinkable forms of psychological and physical torture known to mankind. The so-called re-education experiments, conducted between 1949 and 1951, were designed to break the prisoners' spirits and force them to conform to communist ideals, no matter the cost. The process was harrowing. Prisoners were forced to publicly confess to crimes they didn't commit, endure severe humiliation, and renounce their religious and political beliefs. Psychological manipulation was employed to strip them of their identities, pushing them to the edge of insanity. Victims were often broken down through constant abuse, forced to betray their own values, and sometimes even their fellow inmates. Many survivors of the Pitești experiments carried scars that never healed, while investigators who studied these horrors were left haunted by what they discovered. The brutality of the re-education experiments serves as a chilling reminder of the depths to which authoritarian regimes will go to control their citizens. It remains one of the darkest, most disturbing episodes in modern criminal history. 7. The Zodiac Killer. Could one of America's most notorious killers still be out there, haunting investigators and the public? The Zodiac Killer is one of the most chilling and unsolved serial killer cases in U.S. history. Between the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Zodiac Killer terrorized the Bay Area, sending taunting letters to newspapers and police. The killer claimed to have murdered 37 people, though only 5 were confirmed victims. What makes this case so disturbing is that, despite extensive efforts, the Zodiac Killer was never caught. The cryptic ciphers the killer sent to authorities have never been fully decoded, and some believe the killer is still out there, watching and waiting. The Zodiac Killer's ability to evade capture for so long, combined with the eerie nature of the letters and ciphers, continues to haunt investigators and the public. This case remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in criminal history. 8. The Hinterkaifeck Murders. What happens when an entire family is slaughtered on their own farm, with no clues left behind? In 1922, a family of 6 was murdered on their isolated farm, Hinterkaifeck, in Germany. The family's maid, as well as the father, mother, 2 children, and the elderly parents, were all found butchered in their home. What makes this case so chilling is that the killer stayed in the house for several days, using the farm's resources and eating the family's food. Despite extensive investigations and the eventual arrest of a suspect, the case remained unsolved. The murderer's motives, and how they managed to stay hidden on the farm for so long, are still baffling to this day. The Hinterkaifeck murders are a haunting reminder of how a seemingly peaceful, quiet life can be upended by unspeakable violence. Investigators continue to revisit the case, but the mystery remains one of the most chilling in criminal history. There you have it, 8 real crime cases that continue to disturb investigators. From the unexplainable to the outright terrifying, these cases leave behind questions that no amount of time can answer. Whether it's a ghost helping to solve a murder or a killer who never got caught, the mysteries surrounding these cases still linger in the minds of those who try to solve them. If you found these cases as unsettling as we did, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more spine-chilling true crime stories. Stay curious and keep questioning, because the truth is often more disturbing than fiction.